excuse me, we're actually here at our offices today. You know, Julie just literally said, I just wanted to change up the scenes.
Yeah, so we're sitting in my office. If you were, like, literally, this is where you sit if you're talking to me. My desk is behind the camera here. But I'm like, I wanted a more comfortable seat. And my flowers and my elephant.
This is more comfortable. The funny thing is, just within the last couple months, we have this whole outfit set up in the office here next door with the banners and all this. And I was walking over there, and I'm like, okay, hey, whatever it takes, right? That's kind of our motto. So we're glad you guys are here. I'm going to tell you right up front, I'm sure some of you guys are dialing in, and you're like, why are you even on here, Pete? It's supposed to be Julie, and it is going to be Julie. I'm actually going to just kind of tee this whole thing up, spend a couple minutes with you guys, and then it's all Julie tonight. So it's you guys are going to get quite a treat. I know a lot of you guys are huge fans of Julie. I know a lot of you guys are only here because of Julie, and probably think sometimes I talk too much during these, and I probably do. I kind of tend to go off on rants. So tonight, as you guys are dialing in, well, like Julie always says, tell us where you're calling from, where you're dialing in from. We're always excited to have you guys here with us. This is kind of like our, you know, as I tell people, this is like a staple that we do here. This is something that we've been committed to. This is something that we've been doing as long as we've been doing anything else in terms of our partner-driven model, and that's these Tuesday night webinars. And, you know, we do these because we want to give back. We want to provide value. We want to teach you. We want to inspire you. We want to let you in behind the scenes what we do here. Because, guys, if you're going to partner with somebody, you got to know everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and make the right decision of what's right for you. And the other thing is, this is the other thing that I always tell people, as people come into our worlds on a more permanent basis, whether it's in a partnering or through our deal-driven app, or they show up at one of our in-house live events, the one thing that so many people have in common is they tell us, they're like, hey, I've been listening to you guys. I've been following you guys. I've been, you know, listening to those Tuesday night webinars. So we know that from a large number of you guys are getting exactly what we want you to get out of them. So that's why we keep on doing them. We have no intention of slowing down. Actually, this week it's going to be Julie. Next week it's going to be just me, huh? Julie's off to a mastermind next week, and you know, the one thing that I guess, I don't know if we're proud of ourselves or, you know, still committed to, we're always growing. We're always growing. We're always learning.
And what's the funny thing is for those of you that know, we do live events, you know, here in our office or on big stages. But I mean, Rafa just got back from an event. You go to events. We all go to events. You know, the best way to learn something is to learn from the best. That's the quickest way to success. I mean, we all know that. I mean, I could probably tell you in the last 7 years, we probably spent close to $100,000 going to different things, different educational programs.
Easily. Just a couple of short months ago, Rafa, Julie, and I, along with our spouses, we were out of the country. Well, is Puerto Rico out of the country? I don't know.
Well, it's on the water, over the water.
We're over the water for a whole week.
Hey, Eugene. Eugene was Chicago.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Eugene, we got a deal going on, right? It was funny. I was just talking to Mary about your deal that we're closing here next week. Congratulations. You're an awesome partner to have, and you've been committed to yourself really through our partnering program, and we absolutely positively love it. So like I said, today's really about Julie. Julie's got some really cool things she wants to talk to you about. I want to leave you with just a couple quick food for thought. You know, the thing that Julie's going to talk to you guys about is obviously what's going to take place right here in our office in just a couple short weeks on March 21st. She's going to give you her point of view of like exactly what we're just talking about. Why do we still go to these live functions, and why do we still go to these live events? I mean, let's face it, we live in the world of technology, what we're doing with you guys. You know, why isn't she like next week, instead of spending thousands and thousands of dollars, just like make a call to one of those guys or Zoom in with them? So she's going to give you her perspective on it, but I'll tell you guys, just from my end, what's going to take place here on March 21st, right, is going to be spectacular. And Julie will share you a lot more details, but it is going to be the absolute hidden treasures of what it means to get in the door of sellers. Okay, guys, I'm telling you, the ability to get in the door of sellers is something that's going to make you money immediately. It's something that's going to make you money midterm, and it's something that's going to make you money long term. And I can tell you, collectively, this office has gotten into tens upon tens of thousands of seller appointments. And so that's what we're going to be sharing. So you guys need to tonight, I'm sure once Julie's done, you guys got to make a commitment to be here. We do this in a very limited seating. We don't do these as big live events. We literally do them right at our office. Right in the next office is a conference room. It's got a limited seating, and once it's filled, it's filled. And I could tell you, just in the last event we did here a couple of short weeks ago, there were appointments set, there were contracts out, and there's deals being made as a result of it. So it is an absolute moneymaker. A lot of times you go to live events to learn, so you can go out there and make money. This live event is different. This live event is designed for making money while you are here. So you got to make sure that you're there. The other thing I want to share with you guys is some of you guys are partners, and we're glad you're here. You guys are already partners. You're doing deals with us. I think you mentioned Eugene's name. He's not only a partner, but he's somebody that we should be closing a deal with next week. And that's fantastic. So some of you guys are partners. You dial in, and we love that you guys are doing it. It just shows us your commitment to your future, to yourselves, to your families, to those around you, and to the partner-driven model. And so we are so glad you guys are here, and it's just another way for us to communicate with you guys, connect with you guys above and beyond all the other ways that we're communicating with you and connecting with you and all that. So again, for those of you that find yourself being partners already, glad you're here. Some of you guys are listening to us here tonight, whether in a live environment or recorded environment. You're not quite our partners. As a matter of fact, you're not part of anything we've done here. You're not part of our deal-driven app. You haven't been to one of our live events. You're not a partner, but you're still here. And you know what? We're so glad you guys are. And we don't hide. We do not hide it behind what our mission is with you guys. We want you to be our partners. Very simple. Our partner-driven model is basically based upon us as an investment company, 20-year investment company, thousands of deals behind us, and how we grow, how we expand as we find individuals just like you all over the United States, and we start doing deals together. We need you because we want to do more deals, and we need local boots on the ground to grow and expand. But make no mistake about it, the value that we bring to you is astronomical. It's over the top. We take you under our wings because we coach you and mentor you from day one. Because remember, we got to make sure you do this the right way. You're going to be using our money in the execution of these deals. Number two, we're going to actually help you generate leads right where you live. We're going to pick up the tab on skip tracing and things like that, an amazing deal-driven app, technology and all this. So we're going to help you and pay for a tremendous amount of marketing. Once we find the right deals, we're going to provide 100% of the capital to buy those properties, which means we eliminate all the risk. Where's the risk in this business? It's losing money and it's losing credit. Well, you don't have to put up any money when you're a partner, or you don't have to risk your credit. So no downside when you're a partner. Our construction team helps you fix it. We put it in market, sell it, and split the profits 50-50. You're not yet our partner. You need to be. And I'm sure Rafa shared that site with you also. And that's simply www.partnerdriven.com. So go there. You're going to see success stories. You're going to see the reality of what it means to be our partner. If you love it, put your information in there, and a member of our team will be touching base with you. You'll get the partner proposal where you have an over-the-top, in-depth view of what it means to be our partner, and you'll just be taken through the process. And for those of you that start that process, you could literally get a hold of us tonight and get started. So that's www.partnerdriven.com. So anyway, tonight's not about me. Tonight's about two things. It's about our next function here, and it's about Julie. So I'm going to scoot out here. If you don't mind, I'm going to let you take over. I enjoyed it. Have a good one.
All right. Well, be careful driving home.
All right. See ya.
And by the way, guys, just so you know, I'm going to be taking questions live tonight. So if you want to put those in the chat box, I'll answer as many as I can to the best of my capabilities. But so, really what I want to talk to you about is this live event. but why I think it's so important for you to be there, okay? And a little background on myself and why I put so much commitment in teaching people how to make these phone calls. So a little bit about myself. Actually, I've been in the business, oh goodness, maybe about, let's say 8 years now. Oops, I messed up. I'm sorry. Something happened here. Okay, well, I'll just do it just like this from my computer. So sorry for the weird look. So I've been in the business for a little about 8 years now. And when I got started in this business, I was actually a property locator. Okay. And as a property locator, one of the things you would do is you'd go out and you'd find properties, and, obviously you would cold call to set appointments with your potential sellers. Now, going back before that, I just kind of knew that I had to make, a huge change in my life. And I'll tell you the reason why. Probably within about 3 months, I actually filed for bankruptcy, got a divorce, and lost a baby. Literally all in about 3 months. Now, there was things that I couldn't control. There were just bad decisions that I'd made in my life that had got me to that point. And then literally just one day I thought to myself, I'm not going to live like this anymore. I'm going to take control of my life, and I'm going to have the outcome that I'm wanting to have. Yeah, in the beginning, it was hard. Me and my, now she's 16-year-old daughter, we were living in the back of my dad's mechanic shop. We had this one room back there. There was kind of a storage room that I was able to stay in with her. And, for about a year, it took me living there before I could, move to another place. It's weird to look at where I am now, to look at back then and the struggles that I had. Now, people will say, well, how did you get from there to where you are now? And believe it or not, and also what makes someone successful in this business, I don't think the answer is going to be, what you're used to hearing. A lot of people think to be a real estate investor that you've got to have some super skill set, like, that you went to college, or that you've maybe done finance before, that you're licensed, that, that you have all these things. But listen, I've done over 1,700 deals in almost 8 years. 1,700 deals. And let's just say I'm not living in the back of my dad's mechanic shop anymore. And it all boiled down to one thing. I've always loved talking to people. Okay. And in these 8 years, I have honed my skill set into talking to sellers, helping them in their situations, and setting appointments. That is it. The rest of it will come, guys. So, I knew for myself that, as I'm looking for people looking to get into this business, you really all think that making these calls are harder than what they really are. It's really not that hard, guys. You do not have to act like you're someone else. You're not trying to sell anybody something. You're literally setting appointments to meet with sellers. And that's the reason why I've decided, Peter's decided, Rolf has decided to once a month hold a live event in our office where you can actually see our office, see our people here, be in our environment. And literally for an entire day, it's not us sitting on stage teaching you. It's a little bit of teaching, but it's putting it together and then just making calls. Your whole goal that day on March 21st is to make as many calls as possible, set as many appointments as you possibly can. That's the ultimate goal of the event. We call it deal makers. And the reason we call it deal makers is because we absolutely get deals done. I'm only going to show you the same thing that I've done for years to set these appointments. And I would like a little bit more feedback tonight. I kind of love that about doing this. But just a question, guys. What's holding you back from being more successful? Anybody want to tell me? Because I want this to be a little bit more interactive tonight, and I want to know what's holding you back from being more successful in this business or just getting started. Jim, you said finding deals. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and reiterate on that. So with finding deals, obviously you probably know we have a deal-driven app. And at the deal-driven app, you're able to pull your pre-foreclosures, your vacants, your non-owner occupied properties, any kind of property that you want, and then skip trace them to get their cell phone number, right? And then you're simply going to pick up the phone and call them and set appointments. The other thing that you need to do is obviously do driving for dollars, Jim. I want you to be driving around looking for properties that are in a distressed situation, right? I want you to be looking for, not for things that are for sale. When you're driving around, I want you to be looking for things about property that leads you to believe they might be in a distressed situation, such as overgrown landscape, sheets in the windows instead of blinds, the gutters are hanging off the house, trash strewed everywhere in the yard. Put them in your app and call them and set an appointment. That's it. It really isn't harder than that. It's one of these types of businesses where there's a lot of hard work involved, but for the hard work, the amount of money that you make to do the hard work is what makes it so awesome. I know that if you put me in any city in America, within 2 weeks, I'll have a house under contract. And literally all I need is the ability to find sellers' phone numbers and their property information. That's it. I've actually tested this theory out, flew to California and did 3 deals in a week just by doing that. And that's the whole reason for our deal makers, because people like legitimately do not believe me. Well, there's no better way for you to believe me than for me to show you. Sometimes even just like being in an environment of other like-minded people doing what you're doing is going to make you successful. And if you're competitive like I am, it's just being around other people and they're getting, an appointment. So then you get hyped up, you get better at your craft. It's one of the best things that you can do. Now, let me read some of these so I can get back to you. So, David, you said money and mentoring, okay? So, there's things called wholesaling. And yes, you are going to need a little bit of money, okay? But like, if you get the deal-driven app for just like $50 a month and some money and skip tracing, you can start setting appointments to get houses under contract and wholesale them. That's what I had to do for like my first 100 deals. I wholesaled all the time so that I could get some money in my pocket so that I was able to do other types of deals. Because even here at Partner Driven, we do fix and flips and wholesales and term deals, things like that. But on my own personally, I buy rentals and things. So I needed, cash to do that. So Marty says he's having trouble interpreting some of the data. It shows 100% equity. Does that mean it's already been foreclosed upon, meaning the bank owns it now, not the owner? No. When it says it has 100% equity, that means that they own the house free and clear. Okay, so that is a perfect lead to go after because they don't have any mortgages, or at least none that we can find. Usually, like if someone has a line of credit or maybe a hard money loan, we're not going to be able to find that data on Deal Driven or really anywhere else. You're not going to find that anywhere else, but 100% equity means they own the house free and clear. And I love Cheryl's comment. She said, finances was holding me back, but I just had to stop using excuses, right? Girl, I totally hear you. You just, at some point when you have a dream and you really want to change the life for you and your family, there has to be a line in the sand and you just got to give it all you got. You're never going to be successful at this business with just one toe in the water, just trying to check and see if the water's cold or hot. You either jump in or you get out. That's just the way that this is. And I love that. Jean wants to know, what would I say to set up an appointment? Well, obviously, that's what I'm going to teach you on that weekend, because each call is a little bit different, right? But I'm going to give you a few pointers, if that's all right. So for those of you that can't be there, I'll give you some of the big, huge things that you need to think about. When you're setting an appointment with a seller, do not think about getting a deal. I know that sounds counterproductive, but the only goal of that phone call is for you to build a relationship with that seller, okay? Listen, there's two types of people in this world. There's fighters and there's fleers, okay? And that's okay. And let me just go ahead and tell you that 90% of the population are fleers. Does anybody want to tell me what might cause someone to flee any situation in life? Like, why would you flee a situation? Well, Sal says maybe they fear the unknown. Really, yeah, fear of failure, Cheryl. Confidence. Maybe they don't understand what's going on. These are all perfect examples. In any situation in life, that's why someone flees, okay? So, or, yeah, Marty said they're being foreclosed or fear of a bill collector. So what I want you to understand is when you're making these calls, your only goal is to make someone feel comfortable enough to where they don't flee the phone call. So you need to, number one, be yourself. Number two, give them the information that they need to be successful, right? Or to make them not want to leave the situation. Here's a few hints on doing that. I never use the word real estate investor. I know that's crazy, but I never use the word real estate investor when I'm on a phone call. Most all scripts you're ever going to see is going to say, hi, I'm a real estate investor and I'm calling about the property. Are you the property owner of 123 Main Street? When you say things like that, what do you think the person on the other end of the phone is going to do? They're going to flee. They're going to hang up the phone because they're like, oh, I'm a concrete truck driver and I'm not in real estate. And they just said they're a real estate investor. How does that make me feel? Okay. Instead, like if I'm driving for dollars, I'm going to say something like this. Well, John, I was driving down Main Street and I saw this property that I believe that you own at 1735. Yeah, I own that property. Well, the reason for my call is I buy, fix, and sell houses, and I buy and rent them out. And whenever I saw yours, it's exactly what I've been looking for. And I was just wondering if there's any way I could come out there and, meet with you and take a look at the property. It doesn't seem like the words are changed that much. But just by not saying, are you the property owner of this? Just by not saying you're a real estate investor, you're going to bring that fear level down with someone so that you're able to just go meet with them. You don't need to think about calling people about their homes any different than if you were driving by their house and saw a boat in their yard that you really loved. Would you think it weird to call somebody about a boat in their yard and ask them if you could make an offer for it? Absolutely not. You wouldn't think nothing about it. The same level of confidence you would have about calling somebody about that boat is the same level of confidence you should have when you're calling about their home. People want to do business with who they know and who they trust. Who they know and who they trust. The tonality in your voice, the way you're saying things is stopping you from getting these appointments because you're wanting to sound like, hi, I'm Julie, and I'm a big-time real estate investor, and I'd like to make you a cash offer on your home, close quickly, blah, 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 blah. That's all just lines. People don't respond well to that. People respond well to someone that's honest, someone that's open, someone that, is letting them know exactly why they're calling. So if it doesn't matter where you live, what accent you have, where you came from, all you got to do is be yourself. Don't change for anybody else. Don't change the tonality of your voice for anybody else because people will see through that. Now, let me get to some more questions here. And you're feel free to retype them because there's so many comments. I can't see them. So Brad wants to know what exactly to say to a seller when they say something that hasn't been covered in the training videos, afraid that I might say something that turns the seller away. Well, Brad, obviously, I know you can always, schedule a call with me and I can go over some of these common objections, right? But always answer the questions with honesty, all right? Never think that you're going to say something that's going to turn a seller away. If you can't ask a question, just say, hey, I don't know that right now. I'll call you back. But like, I'm going to handle an objection with you right now that shows, honesty and integrity. A lot of times you'll call someone and their first thing out of their mouth is, how did you get my phone number, right? They're thinking, my goodness, I mean, these people just got my cell phone number. How is that even possible? Well, here's my answer. Well, John, I wanted to get in touch with you about your house so much. I just looked it up on the internet. I mean, it's crazy what you can find on the internet these days, right? You see, whenever you answer people's questions with honesty like that, they'll get it. Normally, if I say that to somebody, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I get people calling me all the time and da-da-da-da. So that's one good way to handle that objection. Let me just make sure it's not my daughter calling. Okay, so Marty wants me to, you want me to go over the classic car thing? Okay, I'll do it. This is my analogy because my dad's a mechanic and actually like grew up doing this. My dad would stop and buy old cars and fix them up and resell them for side money. But like one thing that I want in life for me and my husband after I get through buying these rental houses is I want a 64 Corvette. Like I can totally imagine my husband and I going to car shows. I don't know if any of y'all like car shows or classic cars. But I don't know. I kind of want to do that one day. So for any of you out there that's ever dreamed of a classic car, what classic car would y'all buy? If you just if it wasn't about money, if you kind of had the disposable income, what would you buy? And yes, Nancy, I'm in Georgia. Actually, I'm in North Georgia. Go ahead and throw it out there. I'm a 64 Corvette. Even though I drive a Ford right now, I am going to go Chevy for my classic car. Valori says a Jaguar. Dan said, 67 Shelby Fastback. Jim says a GTO 67 with burnt orange with a black interior. Oh, Cheryl, you want a 63 split window Corvette. Most beautiful cars, right? All right, so let's just use the Shelby Fastback. Okay, now follow me here, guys. Let's say you're driving down the road. You got a pocket full of money because you've been looking for a car like this for forever. And I'm driving down the road, and sure enough, I look out in somebody's yard. And what's in the yard? There is a 67 Shelby Fastback sitting in the yard. Now, mind you, grass has grown up around it. The tires are flat on it, so you know it hasn't moved. It needs body work and a paint job, and it's not for sale, but you've wanted this car your whole life. What would you do to try to buy that car? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you would do if you saw your dream car and you had the money. What would you do? Hopefully y'all could type fast. Don said he would knock on the door. Valerie said knock on the door. Ryan said whatever necessary. You're exactly right. My point is that when you went and knocked on the door, what would you say to him? I mean, what would you say? Sal said build records about car, convince the seller, Muhammad. Exactly right. You probably would say something like this. I have wanted this Shelby my whole life. I see you have one out here in the yard. Can I just look at it and make you an offer for it? I mean, I could totally see myself driving this in a car show or just having it in my garage. Can I please look at it and make you an offer? I'm sure you all could see yourself doing that, right? Listen, the same way you talk to somebody about that car is the same way you talk to a seller about their house. And the thing is that if you drove by and you seen a house that was distressed and is exactly what you're looking for, a lot of you are afraid to talk to the seller. You're afraid to ask them. But guess what? It's no different. It's no different talking about that house than about that car. That's why when I call sellers, it is exactly what I'm looking for. I do just want to come out there and take a look at it and make them an offer. And it no longer bothers me to make that call anymore because I have wanted this my whole life. This is how I make money. This is how I feed my family. And I actually do love looking at houses, flipping houses, wholesaling houses. So all I'm saying is that whenever you're making these calls, the thing that's stopping you the most is getting this thing out of your head that people don't want to talk to you. Okay? You have got to put yourself in this situation. Think the next time you go to make calls, think about that classic car situation. Just change it around to where it's a house. Right? That is the absolute best way. And if you never get any more training from me, I promise you that will make you a lot of money in this business if you are upfront and honest with people. Now go ahead and let me know any more questions. I would love to take some more. Any more questions? But you know what's crazy about this when we're in our office is that I do get around and work with everybody. I'm going to listen to your phone calls, and don't be afraid because I'm going to interject. If you're already a partner of ours, you are more than welcome to come. I want you there. I want to meet you there live. What we'll do is we'll actually have all of your leads pulled. You'll have all your leads pulled and skip traced. If you are not a partner, you're not going to believe this because this is only $149. It's actually not even possible for you to buy these leads at this price. But if you're not a partner, what am I going to do? I'm going to ask you to send me zip codes in your area. I'm going to pull leads for you in our Deal Driven app, okay, that have at least 40% equity, that are blue collar working class areas. My office is going to skip trace those so that like literally when you get here, you are going to have leads with phone numbers to call when you are here. There is going to be no fear involved. You're going to have people that you can set appointments with immediately and potentially get a deal done. So someone wants to say, how do you get the skip trace? Well, I pay companies to do the skip tracing for me. Okay. The app is the avenue that gets it. So in our app Deal Driven, we provide skip tracing services, but since we own the app, I'm able to get, I'm just going to take care of these skip traces for you because I do have to pay for them. But I just really want to show you guys exactly how to go find deals. And no matter where you are and what walk of life that you are, with just a couple tools, you can start going on appointments immediately. I promise you, if you make the calls I tell you to make, and like I tell you to make them when you come Saturday, like you will get appointments. And you better be ready mentally to go ahead and start your career because I guarantee you'll get appointments. How do we send our zip codes to you? So you'll get an email once you sign up, letting you know how to get those to me because there's going to be some videos because I don't want you sending me zip codes like of the most expensive parts of town. I want to be in the best areas, like your blue collar working class areas that I could pull these leads from. Dan, I'm thinking about doing it every month. We did it last month. We're going to do it this month. And actually, let's see, April, I'm going to do it in Jacksonville, Florida. We're going to do our first hand at leaving Atlanta. Now, I know Jacksonville, Florida is not that far from Atlanta, but I'm not going to try to go out of state the first time across the country. I'm going to try to go just a little bit down to Jacksonville. And if I can, make it work in that city, then I'm going to think about moving to other parts of the country once a month, because I know it's, financially taxing on people to travel, from way over there to way over here. So, we're definitely working on that. But, Jacksonville's close to a lot of people too in April. But our next one is March the 21st. And see, the other one I did during the week, this one I'm going to do on Saturday, because I had a lot of feedback from y'all saying, why'd you make it in the middle of the week, right? So me, Peter, all of us, we're going to come up here on our Saturday and teach you guys how to make this call. But our partnership is nationwide. Dan, you're in Tampa. You can just drive all the way from Tampa to Jacksonville. You could be there in 4 hours? See, I got you. I called you out, Dan. Oh, by the way, Dan, I'm working on a deal in St. Petersburg right now. It's looking really good. Valerie wants to know, when we find a house and a party that is interested in selling, we negotiate and then submit the offer to Partner Driven. Just trying to understand how the flow of how it all works. Yes, if you're a partner, when we're here, we're going to give you contracts. I'm going to give you all the information you need so that you can go out and get that deal signed, okay? If you're not a partner, probably going to help you too, just because I don't want you not to get what you're looking for. But I'm going to do my best to give anybody that comes to this event everything that they need. Ooh, you're driving from Wisconsin. Well, Valerie, you're a partner, so I'm absolutely going to help you. And listen, my goal is for you to do I want at minimum 3 appointments set for you on that Saturday if possible. Because when you go home, I want you to be filled up for that week when you go back. So, at this event, like I said, not only are we going to teach you how to make the calls, for those of you that are not partners, this is a way for you to get to know us, to know that we're real. It's going to be in our office, for goodness sake. And the even bigger benefit to that is that you would not imagine what it costs to go buy leads and pay for skip tracing. I am going to provide you, I'm going to go ahead and say it now, I'm going to provide you a minimum of 250 leads. 250 qualified leads that are pre-skip trace, that are already filtered down by equity, maximum evaluations in your area. You're not going to get that anywhere else. And the only reason we're doing this is because I want to prove to you that this thing is possible. And let me tell you, like I was telling you my story earlier, I didn't go into it a whole bunch, but if I can do it, you can do it too. I know that's like some cliche thing to say, but I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth and went to college for 8 years and have this super background. But what I do have is I do love people. I work harder than most. And when I put to my mind to something, I don't ever give up. I never, ever, ever give up. If you're somebody like that, this is the business for you. It'll change your life. Just is something as little as waking up in the morning and kind of just doing whatever you want to do when you want to do it. That freedom is amazing. Oh, or this freedom. Many times in life when you wanted to go on a trip or you wanted to go out to eat, you had to check your bank account first before you could do that. Could you imagine just going to eat anywhere you want to or going on any trip you want to without moving money around or thinking I'm not going to pay this so that I can afford to do this? Having the time with my daughter, my husband, that's why I do this. This Saturday, March the 21st could be that one little key thing that takes you from here to there. Sometimes you just need these little aha moments in life to put things together, right? And you'll see it's not as hard as you've been making it out to be. It's just time, dedication, and really being yourself. All right. Any other questions, guys? So Keith, you're in Dallas, right? And you want to know, what can you do with me? I'm interested in becoming a partner, just want to understand how it works. So number one, I'm going to give you all access to our revolutionary deal-driven application. It's really more than an app, it's a program. Okay. So like in your Dallas Fort Worth area, you're going to be able to pull your own leads. We're going to show you how to do that. Actually, you get 1,000 a month. When you pull those 1,000 leads, you're going to get free skip tracing on all 1,000 of those leads. Now, once you got the leads, you're probably thinking, well, what do I do once I got the leads? Okay. Well, every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, which would be 8 a.m. your time, we do live daily training calls where we teach you exactly how to make these calls, how to work with the app, how to work with the office. And, you know, Peter does a live Q&A on Fridays. I do Thursdays and Mondays. The ladies in the office do Wednesdays. Barry does Deal Driven on Tuesdays. All of that is recorded. Also, you have the ability to schedule a call with me one-on-one and my staff anytime you want to. I don't want you to be in a situation where you're about to go to an appointment and you need help and it's not there. Like, you schedule a call on my calendar, it like literally comes to my phone, and then I can look through my calendar and I call you at the time that you specified. And on top of that, everybody wants to get so excited about the funding. I think giving you the leads and the coaching is the best part, because that's what you really need. But once you get a deal, what we will do is we will fund that deal and split profits with you 50-50, right? I'm going to show you how to wholesale, how to do fix and flips. And in my opinion, you should focus on both of those, not just one or the other, right? So, I mean, that's really what our partner and program is. I mean, it's unlike anything else. And really, what it costs every month, you kind of get in leads if you work the system the right way. I probably shouldn't be saying that. Cheryl said, I can't be there during the day because I go to school at 6 a.m. Central Time to 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, I understand that. That's why I record these live. I mean, I record those training videos every day, and we just put them in the partner-driven university so you can like go back and watch them, because I understand that's, you know, everybody can't be on there live, but when you're on the calls live, they're just like this one on Zoom, where I'm going to teach you, but you're going to be able to ask questions too. And it's going to be on video as well. But this, like, you know, this one-day event that I really need you guys to come through is only $149. That's going to help to pick up the expenses. But what's going to happen is it's going to fill up fast and it's going to be sold out. It happened last time. And, you know, a lot of you wait to see what's coming on in life a month from now. Go ahead and register now. Go ahead and register to be here at this event. If you let me know at least 7 days before you're coming and you can't make it, we'll just give you a refund. But it has to be 7 days before the event, because I do got to get the leads pulled and all that good stuff and be ready. But but we are, let me see if there's any more. So Kim asked me, regarding the deals and fix and flips, do you have contractors all over to do those? And if so, what's the timeline for that in order to resell the property? I'm in North Atlanta. Okay. So number one, I'm in North Atlanta. So obviously I already have people here that I'm going to be able to help you do these flips. And you want to know how long it takes me to get a flip done? As quickly as I possibly can, right? Because the longer you sit on a house, the more money of your profits is getting ate up. So you're going to use one of my people and we'll help you with that. But also it depends on the amount of work that needs to be done in the property. Because sometimes you're just painting and throwing new floors in. Sometimes it's a $75,000 job, but it might take 3 months. Now, if you don't live here in Atlanta, You're not going to believe this. My crew from Atlanta comes to your location, okay? And they're going to help you with the first flip. And our goal there is to kind of build a team in your area. So they may be helping manage your construction crew, but we're not going to leave you hanging on the construction because that's where you lose and lose big. So I am going to oversee these jobs. My people are going to help oversee these jobs. Oh, yeah, Kim, if you're an agent and you want to relist the properties, heck yeah, I want you to relist them. I don't want somebody else getting the commission if it's your deal. Would you recommend photos of properties in question? Oh, yeah. Once you submit a deal, I'm going to need tons of photos, the good, the bad, the ugly, because I need to know what I'm looking at, and probably I'm going to be able to tell you exactly or pretty close what the rehab is going to be for you there. Does anybody have any questions about who's coming to Deal Makers Live? Or could y'all give me a commitment tonight? Sure you can. It's $150. It's one day out of your life, maybe two. Who's coming to Deal Makers Live? Hit me up in the comments. Oh, y'all are going to give me crickets. Please don't. John Scott's coming. Josiah's coming. Good. Marty, you got to be there, man. I'll really hope to see you there. Chelsea's coming. I'm glad that y'all are making the commitment tonight. So, David, you are coming? Oh, Eugene, good. I'll see you then. Dan, the next one's going to be probably one of the last Saturdays in April. I don't know if it's I don't remember the dates, but we'll have that one out there, and that one's going to be in Jacksonville, Florida. Shane, I hope to see you there. John, will there be steak? No, but I'll get y'all some sandwiches from Jimmy John's. I love steaks, but no, I'm not bringing steaks in for everybody. I mean, it really literally will be probably Jimmy John's sandwiches for lunch. That's a good, hey, you don't get what you don't ask for, right, man? Oh, Muhammad, I look forward to seeing you there, dear. Well, if you could, so that I can start planning, guys, you do not have to be in the program to attend Deal Makers Live because, I mean, I definitely want partners there. If you're not a partner, you can still come. This is great knowledge. You're going to be able to use this. You'll be able to check us out. It's open to the public. We want everybody to be there. Plus, you know, like for me, I see a lot of these same names every Tuesday night. You know how cool it is to actually like meet people in person, and like once you meet them, it's hard for me to kind of get them out of my mind. So when I'm talking to them on the phone, I know who they are. And we've done big live events where there's been 200-300 people at an event. I can't get around and see everybody. This event is so much more intimate because you're here. We're all working together. Yeah, it'd probably be the 25th, something like that, if that's a Saturday, Dan. But, you know, you're able to see each other live. You're able to ask questions. You're able to be around other people that are doing this business. That's cool, too. All right. Any other questions before I let y'all go this evening? Ooh, I'm sorry. I didn't see these questions in the Q&A. Pierre, I'm new. Quick question. Would the driving dollar calls be the same type of call as for sell by owners? No. I personally don't call for sell by owners, and I'll tell you why. Generally, hey, thanks, Shane. So let me ask you this, Pierre. Or any of y'all out there, why do y'all think somebody wants to sell their house for sell by owner? Why would a homeowner sell their house for sell by owner? Just throw that, y'all give me some answers back. Valerie, Muhammad, all of y'all are right, okay? Jean says save money, save it on commission, save money. What does all of these answers have in common? It's all about money. If a seller does not see the value in hiring a professional to sell their home, which by the way, they'll make more money on the deal, probably by hiring a professional to sell their house, then I know that a for sale by owner person is probably they're more financially motivated. Okay. So if I'm going to call a for sale by owner, not when driving for dollars, I'm probably just going to offer them 60 to 70% of what they have it listed for. And if they don't go for that price, I'm not even going to go to the appointment. When you're driving for dollars, you're out driving, looking for properties. You're not looking for anything that's for sale. Okay. Pierre, hopefully I, answered that question. I know you're new, so if you have any further questions, join one of my calls or schedule a call with me live. I would love to go over that with you. If you come to the event and you're not a partner and you close the deal, do you get to split the profit? No, you don't, because you don't get the coaching and you don't get the funding, AJ. But I'm going to help you with the appointment, and I'm going to help you in any way that I can, because I've met you in person and I want you to be successful, right? So don't worry. You just need to come to this event and start learning how to make these calls and setting these appointments. That's the best advice I could give to you there. How do you show the whole undeveloped land apartments? How do you show how to wholesale? Is it wholesale undeveloped land and apartments? Okay. I've wholesaled apartments before, but we specialize in single family homes, duplex, triplexes, and quads. So I'm not going to get into apartments, but with land, let me tell you this about land. Land sits on the market for forever. Okay. So if you're going to put undeveloped land under contract to try to wholesale it, number one, you need to probably offer about 40 to 50% of what it's worth. And you better make sure you have at minimum 60-day inspection period on your contract, so you have time to resell the property. Because even if your buyer was going to go buy that land, they're going to have to go to the county and make sure it has a perk test in some places, make sure they can get sewer or a septic tank in there and be approved to build on it, because your buyers are going to be builders probably. Okay. So that's my advice. I wouldn't straight go after land, but if you run across a good deal, put it under contract and give it a try. But they're real hard to get sold. Bill and Britt, you're more than welcome to schedule a call at Call Partner Driven about the tax ramifications. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Do you mean once you make money? Is that what you mean? Like when you get 50% of the profits, because the properties are going to go into our company name. So we're the one taking the hit on the tax ramifications, right? So when we give you your money, that can either go into your business, your LLC, to your personal name. What you do with your taxes is your own business. I'm assuming that's what you're asking. But you can always schedule a call at callpartnerdriven.com. And so I would love to talk to you about that. Maybe that helped you. All right. Anything else? Do you have an attorney that can do double closings? Oh, absolutely, I do. And title companies in every state. Because being able to double close is huge if you're not doing an assignment. And if you're in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois area, actually assignments just became illegal there after one closing a year. So you better be able to double close and be able to list with a realtor and have cash up front. Otherwise, you're dead in the water up there. Anything else, guys? Let's see. How do we contact if the house that you're looking at is deceased and it's been for years and it's not given to the family? Okay. So number one, if someone's deceased, they would have had a will, maybe. And if not, they have to go through probate court before it can be sold, because it's got to be given to the heirs. Even if someone passes away and in their will, they, like, let's say, leave it to their son, okay? You still have to go through probate court to get that house into the son's name. Now, let's say it's a husband and wife situation, and the wife dies and the husband's still alive. If both of the husband and the wife are on title, then they don't have to go through probate court, right? I mean, we could probably discuss probate issues, for a long time. But see, that's one thing about being a partner, is because we've done so many deals, I'm going to be able to help you in all these situations and help you, along on some of these deals. How do you find out if a house is in probate or not? You're going to ask the person you're trying to buy it from, has it been through probate court? If it's not been through probate court, if it's not been through, they are going to be able to provide you documents that the house has been deeded over to them inside of the probate court. So the closing attorney or title company is going to need that information to be able to actually close on the deal. Well, should we ask for a down payment? Let's see. You're not able to get information on a particular house, check the address. Believe it or not, most of the time when you can't find information on a home, it's because the address is in there wrong. I know that's a crazy answer, but that's usually what it is. But guys, that's all I have for this evening. I got I got about an hour drive home. I'm going to go ahead and head home tonight. I've enjoyed speaking with y'all this evening, and thank you for the questions. It makes it easier for me to have talking points when y'all, have things to say. But listen, do me a big favor. Come see me on Saturday the 21st. Let's make some calls together. Let's get to know each other, and let's get some deals done, okay? Go ahead and click that link, partnerdrivenlive.com, okay? Sign up and be here. It will sell out fast, and I can't open up space because this place is only so big. All right, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful evening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.